lot of experience.
Crazy, crazy. I'm Ray,
KC,
and we're your hosts today. So
well,
it's the day after Christmas. Casey, how was your Christmas?
oh, beautiful.
Really?
Absolutely.
Why was it so
Pleasant.
beautiful? It was friggin' cold outside.
It was cold, but it was relaxing. I flew my drone a little bit
Mm.
above the hard deck, and, you know, hopefully don't get in trouble, but what are you going to do? So our first topic, which is a topic that I think everyone's been talking about, the murders of 4 college students in Idaho, where there are no suspects, very few leads, a lot of confusion, a lot of concern. So we wanted to get Ray's opinion of where the investigation stands right now,
Ah,
and perhaps where it's going to lead.
well, our hearts break for these kids and
It's
their
awful.
families. Terrible. Um, you do some research trying to read about this stuff, and let's just go to NBC News. They posted an article a couple days ago about what's going on. And, it's just tragic. So their article starts. Basically, it's on their CBSNews.com website. Idaho murder, University of Idaho college students investigation updates. So to talk about what happened. Well, this is an update, so we kind of know, but I'll give them if they want to put that. So they just talk about all the kids that got wiped out that particular night. Terrible. Uh, then they go down. They show some pictures and they talk about the 2 surviving roommates. Uh, Quite a bit here they have on it, but we're not going to rehash that. Then they talk about who were the victims.
Right.
Yeah. So they were victims. And what did the authorities learn? Finally, we get down to the brass tacks here. So the article, it's riveting. The authorities. So it says, "What have authorities learned? Question mark. Authorities have frequently shared updates about the investigation, though the release of detailed information has been rare so as to preserve the integrity of the investigation." So
A sentence, if there ever was one.
that's a great one. That's a great one. So dozens of members of the Moscow Police Department, FBI, Idaho State Police have been involved in the investigation, and Governor Brad Little directed up to $1 million in state emergency funds for the ongoing investigation. Ah. So, as of December 20th, the police chief out there, Chief Fry, says they received 16,500 tips. My God. That is, I don't think you ever get that many tips about anything on I don't know. Never really read about it, but 16,500 tips. That's amazing.
And in an age where every house has their own Ring doorbell camera.
Security everywhere.
Everyone's got a cell phone.
Cell phone tracking. So, maybe Dinesh D'Souza ought to be called like he did with the mules and ballot stuffing. Maybe he should go through the cell phones, call the cell phone companies and find out whose friggin' cell phones were in the area that night. Because it worked for Dinesh. He was able to show. Not only that, but during his investigative process, there was some other crimes happening and murders where the people, the officials and police and whatnot, contacted him about how to do this, and he actually was able to bring this down to just a few people, and they caught a murderer during that, if I remember correctly. So why isn't somebody going after these friggin' cell phone records?
They should map out every single ping.
Right there.
See which ones are repeating.
Who the hell was there? Because nowadays, everyone and his brother's got cell phones.
Yeah. And somehow the FBI was able to track every human being who was in the District of Columbia on a certain date a couple of years or two ago.
6th. And actually, they brought that out for I don't know how many miles, but a big distance, and contacted everyone that even friggin' drove through there.
Yep.
And then contacted banks and said, "Hey, give us anyone who was in a hotel room nearby that day or so."
But here's the thing, yeah, and it's possible that this attacker, did not bring their cell phone.
Yeah, well,
But
when I
you know everyone
contemplate killing
else.
people, I
Yeah.
purposely leave my cell phone.
Right. But yeah, who knows? The person may have left it somewhere, or you'll see everyone else who had one, and you might be able to
Yeah.
find someone who didn't have one.
Well, so the time they do have some surveillance.
Mm.
Uh, Last time these poor kids were seen alive. So at that position and that time, they can go back, step back in time, and pick up the cell phones that are within 100 feet or so of these poor people.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know.
Interesting. Just asking questions.
I, you know what? I don't need any part of that $1 million that the state has put up to help find
No.
this
No.
heinous murderer. But anyways, so you know, so they go back and they talk about in this article from CBS, these geniuses out here, that they investigators look extensively into these reports of Moscow police now on November 22nd, but they're not been able to verify or identify a stalker.
And all right, you know, basically what we have here is 4 of 6 people violently murdered, close combat situation, no firearms. 2 in the house were not attacked. Of course, they were sleeping off the night before. Apparently, woke up to a disaster. How is this accomplished? Person was either stalking one of them,
Mm-hmm.
stalking the house.
All right.
They followed them in, or knew the house was empty and was already in the house when the kids returned.
Yeah.
What are those? How do you think about those theories?
Yeah. This is the stalker thing. But usually you're stalking one person. So you kill one person. I think you just kill one person, unless, four of them jumped on top to help get this stalker out.
Right,
But you think these kids are the kids. They're not, trained combat people. One of them just would have picked up their cell phone, called 911.
right.
I don't know. Just figuring. Let's go back to this stellar report by CBS. Um, because in addition to all those tips, police have been working their way through more than 113 pieces of physical evidence from the house, uh, and looking at approximately 4,000 photographs and multiple 3D scans of the crime scene. Um, so, if I remember correctly, just like a day or so after the crime, the police let the garbage company pull away the trash. What?
Whatever happened to secure the scene? Haven't we all seen for the past 25 years every CSI show in existence?
Hey man, I've seen
And
Ice T on Law and Order, like
yeah,
putting tape up saying, "Hey man, get out of there, get away from me. It's a crime scene."
right.
They let the garbage man take the shit away.
Yeah,
I said something. This is like reminiscent of the Arizona elections recently,
yeah.
where 300,000 ballots lost its
Chain of custody,
chain of
as they say.
custody. Yeah, Casey, you're
Chain
right.
of custody.
And but nothing to see here. So you got, I don't know how many pieces of those 113 individual physical evidence pieces had lost their chain of custody.
Exactly.
Look at look at you knuckleheads. Call Dinesh D'Souza and let's start looking at some phone records because you know obviously this police department doesn't know what the hell it's doing. And from what I'm hearing about the FBI lately, they're too busy hiding Hunter Biden's laptop shit and to be working on some cold cases here.
Sad, but it's true.
Sad, but it's true. Plus they're busy. The FBI is busy tracking down who's blowing up and burglarizing our power grid. You know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
Anyways, pardon my language. It gets me pissed off. But these poor kids, they're not going to find out what happened to these kids in a while.
No.
So let's just pray that somebody with half a brain steps in and says, "Let me help you." Dinesh, give them a call.
Right.
All right. Terrible article, by the way, but that's you know, CBS meets the expectations. Anyways, what are we going to talk about next, Casey? What do you want to go through? I mean, we can go through, you know, Whoopi Goldberg. Nah, nah. You know?
Well, that's an interesting one because apparently it's her contention that racism wasn't a factor in the Holocaust. Where she gets these feelings, no one really knows, and why. You know why why exactly she feels that you can separate racism as a motivation.
Well, I think it's just that it's based on the definition of race. You know, just like Clinton says, "What's the definition of is?" I think his hearing aid was a little low on juice that day because I think it's not even meant to say jizz instead of is, but that's Clinton. And then as far as talking to Whoopi with race, I mean, what is race? What's the definition of race? In my days, we used to fill out a little paperwork from school. What's your race? White, Caucasian. It changed. I'm so old, it used to be just called white. Then they put Caucasian. And they put, black. And now it's African American and Swahili and different things. And, Russian. I don't know what the hell. So now race is defined as just a group of humans. So it could be, uh, it could be Jews. That could be a race of Jews. Is that a religion or is that a race? I don't know. I'm trying to give Whoopi a little break here.
Yeah.
Is it Catholics? Is that a race? Episcopalians. I choose sockless. That's my
And
race.
what's that?
Well, I'm not wearing socks.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't like
No
socks.
socks. Okay.
I get good looking ankles for an old man, so I like to show them off. So hashtag sockless. Maybe I'll post some pictures.
That might be the new movement.
Could be.
How one identifies.
Yeah.
So I see an interesting article here. Vladimir Putin
Ah,
is willing to talk to all parties involved in his
well, he said that before.
war of aggression.
Yeah, and that's a stall tactic. He doesn't give a shit because you'll get these stellar CBS reporters saying he's willing to talk. In the interim, we need to send Ukraine billions and billions of more dollars until this thing comes to fruition.
Mm.
Mm, yeah.
And what's the number?
What,
What number of billions will be enough?
well, I got some friends, and my background is very diverse, and so I get some friends that are who are in planning process of doing things. You can get the planning process for just say military operations, and it's so funny when I look at some of the different planning processes. You know, when do you know you're done? I mean, let's go back to the first real war kind of we had, and that would be Desert Storm. And President first Bush at the time, um, he had a goal, and we hit that goal, and Saddam was pushed out of Kuwait. The war was over. Then we had a little peace treaty thing in the desert with General Schwarzkopf, and so they had goals. They set them up.
What gets measured can be achieved. Basically, if
Well,
you have a goal, a mission, and an endpoint, it can be achieved.
so yeah, well, once you beat somebody or something, or I mean, that's one of them. Uh, what amazes me now is that money is never a consideration. Uh, Maybe number of dead soldiers. Okay, if we lose 50 million, we'll stop and put the white flag up. That's the end. Uh, Time frame? I don't know. How long did it take once we got involved in the World War II? Almost 4 years.
And basically, the mission of World War II was no one's coming home until the war is over.
Well,
No
but
one.
you have to have. I mean, I guess you don't have a money limit on war per se.
Well, not a total war.
But
you know,
you got to see progress, and it's got to be accountable, right?
The
So anyway, I don't know how we got on this from Whoopi Goldberg with a race, but just to end that real quick, just go to your internet and look up race and how it's defined. the Oxford Dictionary and whatnot. It's, it's a friggin' joke again. You can define things and set up stuff. This is why you need to have one standard thing. This is what got Whoopi in trouble because you know, I mean, she was pretty funny and some of the movies and the old Star Trek shows and stuff, but you know, she's moronic at best. So it's really blame her for not knowing the English language and what's defined and there's no standard definition anymore. They change definitions in the dictionary quicker than I change my underwear. So it's you know I think the best thing for Whoopi she would just I don't know, just like Oprah, stick to Weight Watcher commercials. Okay, Whoopi.
I think she got that message.
I think she got that
I
message.
think she
And
did.
as far as Ukraine goes, stop giving them money. This is crazy. We don't have the money.
And it will never end.
Let's talk about money. Let's just estimate $200 million, $200 billion, million, right? $200 billion. That's my estimate. Casey, you know what that estimate's for? Let's take a look at Joe Biden, what he's led across the border since he's become president.
Estimated 5 million people
Five, and
that we know of.
that's what we know of. The ones that we laid eyes on. Um, you know, what's the cost of each one of those people to come to this country, get taken care of for a while, building buildings, giving them jackets, water, whatever the frig you give them, cell phones, transportation, accommodations. I don't know. Let's just go $40,000 per person times 5 million. $200 billion that we don't have,
Nice round number.
and and it's an atrocity. It's atrocity to the people coming over here, to the people who played the game to get here correctly, and basically it affirms where I go that this it's just not the Democrats. It's a lot of these Republicans are just letting this shit happen to ruin and end our country. Uh,
Eroding it from within.
It's the only way. That's what they said. They said communists said back. I don't know what was it.
The 80s. Well,
yeah, one of them said, we're not going to win by war, but you know what? They'll lose from internal.
Yeah.
These lazy friggin' kids that just want to hang out in mom's basement, put their man buns up, walk around talking about social justice. Hey, I got one thing to say to you, little frig heads in the basement. That when say the communists do take over like you want, the first thing they're going to get rid of are the dregs of society. People who don't want to go to work and follow rules, they kill them. Your mom's basement, they're going to go, how come you were not working? Oh, social justice. Yeah, done. You know? Uh, that's a race that Whoopi Goldberg would define as that are going to be fried. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to make what the Nazis did look like nothing. Uh, a lot of you people, the politicians, right? You think you're funny, you know? You, this fucking what's the VP's name there?
Kamala.
Camel.
Camelot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Harris. Who fuck is she? Should be one that'll go too. They'll look at her and they'll go, you've just been lying. I mean, we like misinformation, but sitting there with those kids saying you're gonna go to the moon, you buy into that shit, you bitch. Done, they'll say. So people like there and AOC and everything, you guys should AOC. You think you're a communist? No, you're not a communist because you sit there and go out and put these dresses on with propaganda and spend money and tell you how I feel really bad because I'm like dating a white guy and shit. The fuck, they don't need that stuff. There's no consistency in your message. So the only ones that are going to survive in the communist regime, if it makes it here, are the consistent people who want to work. A lot of you can become slaves. You won't be killed, but some of you think you're fucking badasses. You're gonna get your badass handed to yourself. So just a word to the wise, and stay out of my neighborhood. What do we got next, Casey? I'm on a roll here. I'm getting pissed.
Oh, all right, we don't want that. Life's too short to get that angry, but I see where you're headed.
Yeah, let's talk something fun. How
Oh,
about
so,
New England losing Tom Brady?
oh my God,
That wasn't.
that's not fun.
That
That's
was.
that's sad,
That was.
isn't it?
I don't know, man. You know. So last night, Collinsworth was like
He was laughing at him,
laughing at
but
him.
they
Who's
came
this
back
guy?
and won the game.
Yeah, well, Arizona,
Yeah,
four,
that's true.
4-8 or whatever the heck they
That's
are
true.
now, 9.
That's true.
That's a tough battle.
That's
Jesus,
true.
this
But
is this is like Tom Brady. Who's the new England quarterback?
oh my God, Mac Jones,
That's like those two arm
Jonesy.
wrestling. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
All right.
Jonesy.
Yeah, I loved Belichick the other weekend. What, 2 weekends ago, 2 games ago. Hey, Coach Belichick, how come you didn't have Matt Jones do a bomb to the uh, end zone at the end of the game? Well, because he couldn't throw it that far. you know, uh, probably an indication that you should get a new quarterback. It seems
Mm,
okay, but you know what? Well, after you get rid of Patricia, calling plays, then you can get rid of Matt Jones.
yeah.
So, anyways, nice kid and everything, but he and Tom just need to go out and I don't know, maybe he can be like the friggin' Eli and his brother Manning there doing the play by
They can
plays.
do commentary.
What are they doing? Drinking beers
They
and doing it? It's
they,
almost like the Blake Shelton's new show about in his bar when he plays all these bar games. Barmageddon. Did you watch that
I've
yet?
heard of it. I've heard of it, but I haven't caught it.
Yeah. Well, that's about as entertaining as the Manning brothers calling the games. Yeah. I think it's more entertaining because they had a couple of decent looking girls to look at the whole time. And they're drinking, which I fully endorse. But
Of
anyway, so
course.
today's broadcast brought to you by
The Go Do app.
the Go Do app. How do you spell do?
Do you?
The Go Do app. Look it up at your whatever store for phones you use. It's
Got Apple or Google. Google Play or Apple App Store.
mm.
The Go Do app.
So what it basically is the fine folks at the Go Do app provide a lot of. Basically, it's a real time what's going on in that particular bar.
Nightlife in real time is what we're trying to show.
If I were a bar owner, I would look that up and download it. It's a free app. Put up what's going on in your establishment. They get a couple different categories. The one I like is the new one that they've released on the right side of the app. It's for breweries because I like to go to breweries and check out what's going on. So if you're an owner, throw some pictures up, and people download it. Especially if you're in a vacation place, maybe Orlando or Newport, Rhode Island. People will just download the app and see what's going on, and you'll see when you put when you're a bar owner or whatever, and you use the app that it color codes you and put you up top for people to see and what's going on. So, anyways, the Go Do app. The Go Do app. Go check it out, and thanks to the folks for supporting us at the Go Do app.
Thank you. And we'll be back